All right, so I don't actually know how the show's going to start yet. It might just be this.
Okay. Did you pick a name yet?
Yeah, so I picked Late to the Movies. I think
Nice.
we're sticking with that. So the show starting will be something like, welcome, this is Late to the Movies. My name's Ben Holt, and today we're going to talk about the Birdcage. This is the first episode we're doing. I might, at a later point, record like a explainer of what it is we're doing, but assuming that I don't, I'll say that the point of this show is to, I guess, catch up on movies that at least one person on the episode hasn't seen before. Today, me and one other person on the episode hasn't seen it. One person has. I think usually I'll see most of them, but not today, and that's fine. Joining me as really, I appreciate these guys being guinea pigs for this first episode of Late to the Movies is, you guys have anything you want to plug or no? Should I introduce you as
My Instagram is.
From Instagram.
You may know me from. My name's Noah.
Hey, Noah.
Hi. Thanks for
Cory
having me
here.
on.
Hey, Cory.
I don't have anything to plug because I don't have anything that interesting as far as social media goes.
Yeah, same.
I know that feel.
Just my MySpace. Can I plug that real quick?
Yeah, MySpace. I got like one great friend. His name's Tom.
You know him too?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
that's
hold
cool.
on.
Me too.
You know Tom?
Got it.
You must be a creep.
Pretty much,
Yeah, probably.
All right, so today we're going to talk about the Birdcage, and this was a suggestion, I think, from Noah, right?
Yes. It was
Cool.
one of the many movies on the list.
Yeah, so we have this really long list that all our friends have seen, and some people have started to claim stuff, and you guys were available more than anyone else this weekend, and you picked the Birdcage, and I'm happy you did because it's pretty awesome. But before we get into that, I just want to talk about, so generally this will work the best if people haven't seen stuff, but how do you guys think about your own sort of movie viewing habits? Like, do you watch a ton? Is it sort of more seldom for you, or where are you kind of coming from?
I feel like for me, it's like barely ever. Or I'll watch like a lot of movies and then I'll just not watch them for a long time.
Yeah,
But super sporadic, I guess.
that makes sense.
I watch even less movies than Noah does. Like, I rarely will like sit down and watch a movie, especially if I'm alone. I never will.
Yeah.
It has to be something that like I was very excited for, and even in that scenario, I would just go to the theaters.
All right, so this is kind of a treat then. I'm glad that you guys are agreeing to do this with me because it's so rare that you watch movies anyway.
We hate movies.
Yeah, you hate movies.
Yeah.
Why
Well, I
did you
thought,
bring
why-
this on?
Why are we on this podcast?
Yeah.
Who hates movies the most? I knew I had to come to you guys.
Yeah.
But generally when you do watch movies, you like them. So
Oh, yeah,
that's
of course.
good. Well, okay. What did you think the Birdcage was going to be like? And I should specify, Noah has seen it before.
I have, yeah. So
Me and Cory are newbies to it. But so, Cory, did you have any familiarity with it at all?
Honestly, I had no idea what we were going to watch.
Yeah.
All I heard was Noah said it's awesome, and Robin Williams is in it. So I was like, all right.
That's all you need to know.
That's all I need to know.
Yeah,
I saw like a preview trailer when I was going to the HBO of thing, and I was like, oh, I had no idea this is what it was going to be about.
Yeah. So pretty much we just watched it together and then turned the mics on and now we're talking. So until a couple hours ago, I was pretty much in the same boat. I think I've caught a couple scenes, maybe even just seconds on TV a couple times. I've never watched it really, and in any way that would count. I was aware that Robin Williams and Nathan Lane were in it. And I think at some point I was aware Mike Nichols directed it. But aside from that, I couldn't tell you really that much at all about it. And, yeah. So I knew about the drag aspect of it and the club. And I feel like that's pretty much it. So yeah. So no, what is it about this movie that you like so much?
Well, I love Robin Williams, so
Sure.
that's definitely one of the probably the biggest factors
Rest
in the
in
movie.
peace.
All right,
I love the supportive cast too, the supporting cast.
yeah,
It
it
and
is
I have to look up
stacked.
their names because I actually don't know their names.
It's
But,
stacked.
Nathan Lane,
Yeah.
it was amazing. The guy that plays Spartacus,
Yeah.
Hank Azaria.
Hank
looks
Azaria,
like him,
who
yeah.
you know from The Simpsons. He does a bunch of voices on The Simpsons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's weird. So those are, to an extent, probably the three central performances or at least the three people who are doing the most.
Yeah.
With Hank Azaria doing a lot.
Yeah.
And I think at that point, certainly for me, as I would have been 5 when this came out, probably most known to
That's
me
crazy
as
to
voice
think of.
actors, because Robin Williams in Aladdin,
Yep.
Nathan Lane in Lion King, and then Hank Azaria on The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Not that I was like huge into The Simpsons when I was 5, but that would have been sort of my main point. Which is all to say that these guys are so good at like
so
physical
good.
comedy.
They're so good.
It's kind of crazy that they're also. I mean, maybe not. If you're just good and funny, you
Yeah.
can be a good voice actor too. But the physicality of what they're doing is just so good in this movie.
Yeah, they really nailed like every aspect of it, and the characters themselves, and I don't know, just like their mannerisms and
Yeah,
everything. Thought they crushed it.
I have to agree. So who wants to take a swing at a brief plot overview?
God,
I
not me.
could if you let me read this IMDb.
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay.
I feel like it'd be funnier if you just went off the cuff.
I think
All right,
so
I'm
too.
going, I'm
If
going
you
off
got
the
it,
cuff.
Yeah.
So I
Just
watched the
refer to
movie.
that if you need it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will. So basically, the movie just starts off and there's just this drag club, and then the main dude, his I guess not husband, partner, gets upset and is like, thinks he's cheating, and then in comes a child who you're like, how did this happen? And that's kind of what happens later on.
Yep.
And then the whole point of the movie is that child wants to get married, and the girl's parents are like big conservative politicians, and he's like, Dad, you got to be not gay, and meet these people and try to convince them that we're like wealthy, right-wing, good Americans. And it all goes to shit. And that's the
Already
movie.
Yes.
ensues.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was a very shitty description of the movie, but
No, solid, man.
yeah,
I think you
Get the
nailed
basic
it,
plot. Yeah.
nailed it.
Yeah. Within that, there's so much. Obviously, it's like a 2-hour-long movie, and you think it's basically
It was 2 hours.
Which in
wasn't it?
'96, that's a long
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
for sure for a comedy too. And you really think about it, it's the kid comes and says, "I'm going to get married." They're coming tomorrow. The in-laws are coming tomorrow, and then it's the next day, and there's a dinner party. And that's the whole movie, pretty much.
Yeah.
There's a flash forward at the end to the wedding. Spoiler alert: they end up getting married. But
Shit, you ruined it.
I'm going home.
Yeah.
Oh, this is my house.
this movie came out, 25 years ago, but we will be talking about the plot. So if you want to watch it first, you've been fairly warned. A couple things that stuck out to me as sort of not what I was expecting. The whole plot sort of revolving around, because like, why would you know this aside from just, there's a drag club and Nathan Lane and Robin Williams are there doing their thing. That it revolves around this sort of, not even the wedding itself, because they're not even planning it, they're not at that stage, but just sort of meeting the potential in-laws, and that's the whole thing. That was kind of a surprise to me, and how it layered in a lot of political and media satire was kind of a big surprise for me too.
Especially in '96. Like, I feel like those kind of jokes now, I feel like would go really well. But in '96, that was like, ooh, some people are going to be real mad about that.
Yeah.
So funny though.
Yeah. Oh, it was great.
Yeah, it was great. What else? Yeah, I don't know. What anything kind of surprising to you, Cory, seeing it for the first time, or something that you forgot, Noah, from the last time you've watched it?
There's no birds. Not one bird in the entire movie.
And no cages.
And no cages, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Which is
I
the
feel like
title of the movie.
They could have really gone off of that, where they have like people dancing in cages.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know?
Like hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, that would be pretty sick.
that would be pretty sick. I feel like it'd be a much different club if that was happening, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be
You don't know what happens after hours.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
This is random, but that scene where the father of the bride to be,
Gene Hackman.
yeah, he's talking about going on whatever the ride through the states and colors of the leaves, and I'm like, I don't remember it being this awkwardly long. Like, I almost thought, is this the extended version? Because that particular part, like, I don't even remember
Yeah.
it. But it was,
That's-
yeah, which I guess was the point.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
That part.
I was pleasantly surprised that I thought the movie kind of like started out slow. Like the whole like beginning portion leading up to that dinner was like, it was enjoyable, but it was, just kind of like a straight line.
Yeah.
But then as soon as the dinner happened, it was just like it ramped up so hard.
Yep.
And just became like hilarious. Like the rest was pretty funny, but that was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So good.
It's really the first hour is them sort of getting ready for the dinner, but it's in the club, it's in the apartment. They go and meet up with the son's birth mother at one point. So there's not a ton happening, but there's still some stuff happening. And then the second hour is pretty much all just in one or two rooms in the apartment.
I do think they could have done without like 20 to 30 minutes of the first part of the movie.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think.
Maybe. Yeah.
Because like the last half of it was so good that the beginning, like if you're watching this at home and you're not in a theater or whatever, like you might just be like, I'm not feeling this movie.
Yeah.
But if they got like jumped into the core of it a little earlier, I think that would have been beneficial.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved how much it just built up tension leading to the comedy in the dinner part of it, where they're just like adding elements that you don't even realize how much they're adding as it's happening. And then it just sort of builds to this critical mass where everything is really funny and really tense.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. I was definitely like laughing harder once it got to that part because of all the, what they went through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
and I think this is a good time to talk about. So Mike Nichols, who directed this movie, is sort of like this legendary, huge, iconic American movie director. He did The Graduate, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, a ton of other stuff. But those, Graduate especially, when thinking about this movie, is a big deal too, because that's also about a kind of 20-ish year old, the two kids who were supposed to be 20 in this movie, I think are both around 30 probably in the movie, but whatever. And trying to date the daughter, and the parents don't want him to date the daughter pretty much. There's other reasons too, and it also ends on a wedding. So that also has a lot of like kind of awkward family meeting stuff. So that's clearly something Mike Nichols cares about. And then the screenwriter who adapted this from the original La Cage aux Folles, I don't know, like 1978. It's a French-Italian. I shouldn't say version. This is a version of that, but this obviously said Miami. And with all the political and media stuff, is updated to be like that. She, who wrote the movie, is also legendary and was in this comedy duo with Mike Nichols when they were like super young in like the 60s. They were like the biggest comedy duo in the country. They performed for the president and
seriously?
Yeah. All this crazy stuff. And then
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then Elaine May said, this is like a real paraphrasing of it, so don't, get too caught up in the details.
Yeah.
But she essentially like split up the group, and Mike Nichols was super devastated, but then made some of the most important movies of the century. So I guess he got over it.
Yeah.
And then being a woman in the 60s and 70s was a lot harder for Elaine May to make movies. She eventually made 4 movies, 3 of them in the 70s, 1 in the 80s. They're all awesome, and they're all kind of the same vibe.
What are they?
So she makes 3 movies in the 70s, New Leaf, Heartbreak Kid, which has a ton in common with this, and Mikey and Nikki. All 3 of those are complete bangers, so good. And then
I've not seen any of those or heard of any of those.
In the 80s, she makes a movie called Ishtar, which is like the go-to joke for a huge flop. There's a Far Side comic that's the caption says a video store in hell, and the only thing anyone can rent is Ishtar.
Oof.
Is that bad?
It's not. It's really good, but it just sort of became like this weird thing where it would
The
be
opposite of a cult following.
Yeah, where
Like The
people just
Room or
sort of
something?
piled on because people are like, oh, it's funny to make fun of stuff.
Yeah. It's
I'll-
nice to have like the worst.
Yes.
I don't know
Yeah.
if it's nice, but people do it.
Yeah, it's great. Elaine May has said, if I had, $1 for everyone who said this was a terrible movie, if they had actually seen it, I'd be much richer.
Yeah.
But it weirdly got this kind of like media firestorm around it because it cost so much money. It went really over budget. They're filming like on location in Morocco and stuff.
Oh, wow.
For a comedy, with two of the biggest stars going right then. It was Warren Beatty and Dustin Hoffman, and pretty much that was the last movie she made. All four of her movies have like these really tortuous, horrible experiences for her to get them made, with the studio trying to like wrestle control away from her and like not giving her final cut. And yeah, so she just stopped making movies pretty much. All that to say, the first time that she worked with Mike Nichols again was on The Birdcage in 1996. So they hadn't worked together for I think 35 years before this.
They still got it.
Yeah, it's so good. Their sensibilities work really well together. And a lot of her kind of comedy is that kind of, it's sort of satire and it has like a lot of edge to it, but it's sort of like a heightened reality kind of thing that felt a lot like, there's a scene in Ishtar that has media people outside of someone climbing out of a window that felt a lot like when Gene Hackman's climbing out of a window and there's a lot of
okay.
media people.
Yeah.
So it's like something that wouldn't actually happen, but it's somewhat grounded in reality, and it's just really funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, a lot of her stuff deals with the same thing of, especially in Heartbreak Kid, there's a really extended dinner sequence that's super awkward and really funny. So I guess they just like writing family dinners that are very awkward.
I wonder if that's
Yeah, it
because
works.
they like experienced.
Oh, there has
really
to be
awkward
some of
family
that.
It must
Yeah.
be.
They're
There
like,
has to
I
be some
know
of
this
that.
really well, and I'm gonna like replicate it multiple times.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep. And
And it's just like an easy. I feel like there's a lot of
Oh,
movies
yeah.
that have awkward family dinners,
yes.
like Meet
Red
the
Wedding.
Fockers, like
Yeah.
So they were,
stuff like that.
so the two of them were improvisers. And so that is just like an obvious sort of starting place for an improv game, is just like awkward family dinner. And you just sort of spin off from there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And speaking of improv, to bring it back to the movie we're actually talking about, Nathan Lane and Robin Williams are both
Geniuses.
geniuses. And I wonder how many alternate takes there are for like so many different scenes in this.
They could make a whole nother movie of it.
Yeah, and especially with the physical comedy bits where
Yeah.
he's trying to teach Nathan Lane how to walk with like masculinely.
That's one of my favorite parts.
And he just cannot do it.
No.
And then he's like, walk like John Wayne. And I assume he threw out like 10 different people to walk like, just
Yep.
to see what would happen. So
I wonder. Sorry.
no, I didn't have anything important.
So you were just talking about how what was the female counterpart that created the movie?
Elaine May.
Elaine May.
Mm-hmm.
You said she makes a lot of things about like heightened reality and such. I wonder if like that specific scene about when Robin Williams is trying to get Nathan Lane, is that it? Nathan Lane to be less feminine.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was to like kind of raise that awareness of like the heightened reality of like, this is what America is trying to do to gay people, is to be like, oh, why don't you be more manly and less like, but it's just them trying to be themselves.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that was like, that whole scene was to really like, to get some people to think like, oh, maybe like, as a society, we're trying to force people to like,
Yeah, I think that's a really
I don't know if that's like hyper.
well observed kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
There was, I mean, obviously this is 1996, and even today, these kinds of movies don't get made a ton.
Right.
But yeah, the root of it is this kid asking his parents to not be who they are and to, try to pass for straight. And, it's kind of a farce and spins out from there into comedy, but there is obviously a lot of hurt and sort of betrayal feelings under that too, which is really, it makes for like a really rich movie.
Yeah, and if they tried to put out the movie not as a comedy and just as like an awareness thing, people wouldn't have watched it, or people would have been upset about it. But they're like, oh, haha, it's funny. So now it's like, it has more of an impact than, which is kind of funny because you throw in comedy and it has a higher impact than if they just tried to straight up do like an educational bit.
Yeah.
And speaking of the actors, I think it's really interesting to see Robin Williams in a role where he's not exactly the straight man, but he is not, pun not intended, but he's reacting to what Nathan Lane's doing a lot. He's not the chaotic force, which is his comedy persona.
That's a good point. Yeah, he was the one that had to kind of keep everything in check. And
that's true. He's always like, I feel like he's usually the wild one.
And they let him do that like a couple times where he's telling the guy how to dance. And he's doing, Martha Graham, Madonna, all that stuff. And aside from that, though, he's sort of just reacting, and he's really good at that too.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know if it was the hardest laugh, but it was one of them when Nathan Lane enters the dinner party.
Yes.
Pretending to be the mother, and they just cut to Robin Williams just looking at him, and they just hold on him for a while, and he just kills.
That
it's
face.
so
It was
funny.
perfect. Yeah. That was one of the parts that I laughed at really hard too.
Yeah.
So much emotion from one facial expression, layered emotion of like, what the hell? And also like, okay, we have like, what am I going to do? We have to roll with this now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it worked.
Yep. It absolutely worked.
Somehow.
It was so good. I'm looking at my notes for anything else. This happens earlier in the movie, but the one-sided telephone call that Gene Hackman does when he gets the news of his partner dying.
Yeah.
It's just like comedy 101. It just is, rule of threes. It's just joke. And each one's funnier. Just saying. That's really funny too.
Yeah, that was really good.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. What else do you guys feel about the movie? Okay.
That's all, folks.
No.
No, there's
definitely more to it. You can't just spring on me like what else did you think about the entire movie?
Yeah.
Well, we've been talking
about different parts,
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. Well, you asked me, so now I'm trying to tell it now. The part I thought it was really like clever when they introduced his son.
Yeah.
And they made it seem like he was having an affair. And they even like did some like overly like romanticized like gestures towards his son, not in like a weird way, but and that whole time, because I haven't seen the movie before, I was like, is he just like sleeping with a younger man? And then he was just like, I'm getting married, pops. And then I was like, wait, what? That's his son?
Yeah, that was really smart too, to have that fake out at the beginning, because that's what Nathan Lane's character is mad about at the beginning,
right?
Because he thinks that Robin Williams is cheating on him. So it's definitely a smart fake out.
And that's where they messed up that scene cut.
You're right. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Point that out.
I sniped that.
Equalize.
Yeah. He, when his son's telling him about, he's getting married, Robin Williams chugs a glass of wine and it's an empty glass. But then when it cuts to him getting up, there's like a half full glass of wine.
Yep.
I sniped that one out.
Sniped it.
Felt good.
It was a really good catch. I think, like I said, one of the things that was most surprising to me was how much political satire was in it. Yeah, you can tell the people who made this movie, not a huge fan of conservatives.
Yeah.
Same.
That was such like a big portion of it too. I feel like rewatching it this time, I realized how much of that was in there too.
Yeah.
So you're so focused on like their performance with Robin and that whole storyline. I thought they connected it really well. Like I feel like they didn't have to go as deep into the political, like her family, as they did, but it was, I don't know, just added more to the movie.
That's definitely, I was gonna say, that's definitely something both Nichols and May did in their own movies, is they have a lot of things. So even though it's a comedy, it's 2 hours long because they have, 4 different plot lines happening.
Yeah.
It also added a lot of contrast to the movie.
Yeah.
Because you just, you see this gay couple that are basically running a drag club. And then you see this, like the complete opposite as
literally
almost,
a conservative senator.
And that just adds to like the contrasting views of like, America, but not to get all political America.
And the performances are so good too. Gene Hackman and Diane Wiest are the two parents. Callista Flockhart's the daughter. I think this is like a year before Ally McBeal starts. And she's playing a 20-year-old, but I think she's 32 in this. I checked that during the movie. But they just do such a great job of it's like not at all a winking performance, but it's such a sort of kind of making these people look like buffoons in such a smart way.
But like also like, yeah, in a realistic way. Like there are people that are like those people.
Oh, there definitely are those people.
Yeah.
The dinner scene where what's his name? Robin Williams' partner.
Oh, Nathan Lane.
Nathan Lane. When he's talking to the father.
Oh my god.
And he like it was like the Thanksgiving dinners where you have like that one uncle that's like, oh my god, please stop talking.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that he was just rolling along with it, and that actor just like personified that uncle that like has very strong thoughts, and he was just rolling with it. He was just, oh yeah. Oh yeah, let's just kill them all.
And then Nathan Lane, that continuing to build off of that.
People being like, oh my God, you got to stop saying that. And then the father being like, no, she should say that. Yeah. She's a passionate woman.
Defending her.
Defending her. And then he finds out. The crazy thing is when he finds out she's a man.
He can't believe it.
He's like, he could not even understand how that was possible. Like and he didn't try to understand too, which is like, right. I feel like that's another thing that the directors of the movie like really tried to push was like that there's people that just they can't even like his brain looked like it was about to explode because he couldn't understand how this was possible.
Yeah,
he was like, no way I danced with a man that was dressed as a woman.
I really like this person. How could she be a man?
Right.
In drag?
Yes.
That was totally different.
Yeah.
Right. Because this was a person that was humanized for him, and now he's like, but how did this happen? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really good. Yeah. Thank you, Noah. This was a great pick.
Hey, no problem.
And it ends in a sort of like inevitable way where the media has surrounded the apartment, and the only way to get everyone out is obviously for Gene Hackman to dress in drag and leave in like
very well.
Yeah. And leave in like a conga line sort of thing at the end of the show. It was an inevitable way for it to end, but it was really good. Just so good all around.
Yeah.
I like when he told the driver, he's like, meet me at blah, blah in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Not for $1 million.
Yeah.
So good. Ends with the wedding, and it's pretty much.
Yeah.
What's even cooler about that is like, he like got what he dished out in that like exact moment.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. I hadn't thought of it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's the only way to make it like light up. If the screen doesn't stay lit otherwise, you have to do the rim shot.
I mean, that's a way to light up the podcast as well.
Yeah, I'm not like trying to make it end or anything. I was just curious, and I was like,
I think the time. It's the pilot.
I think it's the only way. So outside your window, I've noticed like 3 people walk by and like look down at something and then keep walking. And they like stop there for a few seconds. Do you have anything?
Same, actually.
Yeah. What's up with
that?
that?
I don't know. You guys keep talking. I'll figure this out.
Okay. Please do.
It's probably just a dead body. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
No, it's probably like, probably is a dead body.
Yep. All right. Corey's
we do have
window.
a piece of our apartment that's just like, it like in front of our house, so it could be that too.
Okay.
I mean, there's wood from the house, but I think that's been there for a long time.
All right. Might be some wayward wood.
Maybe it moved. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm glad.
You're not listeners.
Yeah, I'm
Everything's okay.
I was just on peripheral vision. I just seen like 3 people do that, and it was sort of weird. So I wanted to ask about it.
There's not that many people that like walk down the street.
No, there's really not. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Anything else you want to say about the movie?
I didn't realize, like I've watched it, I don't know, probably like 10 times at this point. And I didn't realize watching it this time, the son's kind of a big dick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just like purely selfish.
Yeah.
Just like,
You're going to have to bleep that out. Probably.
Oh no.
Do we not swear?
Geez.
He's a big doofus.
No, I think it's okay.
He's very selfish.
I looked. I checked with the FCC. They said it's cool.
He meant,
Okay, thank
Dick
God.
Cheney.
Yeah.
Not as in the phallic kind.
Absolutely.
Saved you.
But yeah, no, I feel like that's part of it too. So not to go back to Nichols and May, but in their movies, especially The Graduate, especially Heartbreak Kid, the central character is in similar movies kind of a hero, but you're supposed to get the vibe that actually this person sucks.
Yeah.
This person's terrible, and they're both pretty good destructions of masculinity and all that stuff. So I think it's probably on base to say that that's the same thing that's supposed to happen with the son.
Well, it makes sense.
Because if he was just like more secure or honest, none of this had to happen.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's a really smart point to make.
And he gave like no leeway to like anything other, it being anything other than exactly how he felt like it needed to be.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was pretty messed up.
Yeah.
That guy sucks. I think we can agree.
Yeah.
So that guy definitely the worst part of the movie.
Yeah.
And he wasn't like that young of a kid. He was 20.
Yeah. So he should know that.
I can understand like a 15-year-old, like we all,
Yeah.
were like not the best to our parents at time to time.
Yeah.
And like, oh, you suck because they wouldn't let us do like one thing that upset them. But he was 20 years old and he's like, Dad, I need you to like be really hurt for like, a while and completely not be you.
No sympathy towards like any of the emotional like
Yeah.
stuff that his
Dad's like breaking down and he's just like, Dad, just do this for me.
Yeah.
It's like, do me a solid, bro. Just like, don't be gay and like take everything out of your house and like change everyone around me and your partner can't be here and
which is literally
go
like
call my mom,
his
who
mom
I've never seen
basically.
before.
Yeah. Yeah.
His like
Yeah.
actual mom.
The people who raised him.
Yeah.
Which he eventually says that at the end.
Yeah. See, he came around.
Yeah, he came around. It's not like that, The parents are upset about it, but it's not like that big a deal. He could have just been honest.
Yeah.
Also, he was way too cool with his real mom, who hasn't talked to him ever.
Oh, yeah.
Literally
Just, like,
ever.
shook
He was
hands.
just like, "Yeah, Mom, come on by," and like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then they met each other for the first time towards the end.
and there was no emotion at that.
Super
like,
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
She went to the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she cried. She cried at
Yeah.
the wedding.
It's Christine Baranski. She's just cool to have around. I guess that's sort of the point the movie's making. I'm assuming they had some kind of agreement that it wasn't like weird that she wasn't around.
Well, I think he paid her to not be around because
Yep,
she
is-
said
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Oh,
You
that.
got the
Is that actually it?"
that must be it, right? Because she says, "Oh yeah, I used the money you gave me
Right.
to start this business."
And she was like, "Oh, you should have gotten stock in it." He's like, "I got what I wanted, and that was Val."
Val, yeah. Okay, yeah, asked and answered. Yep, that's got to be it.
Yeah.
So I guess it wasn't like ever that she was supposed to be in the picture or whatever. I feel like she still could have. They clearly lived not that far from each other.
They had
Yeah.
seemed like a great relationship too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It
Could've
seems like
gone
they haven't
differently.
seen each other for a while.
Yeah.
Ron Williams and Baranski, but they fall right back into it. There's no angst at all. So yeah, they should have been hanging out. I agree.
yeah.
Is it time for
Maybe. I'm trying to decide. Well, first off, to close out the movie, and I'll just say, yeah, I'm definitely happy I've finally seen this. Cory?
It kind of makes me sad that I don't watch more movies because every time I do end up watching a movie, I'm like, "Oh, that was really good."
Yeah.
And that it's just this random movie from 1996.
Yeah.
Like, there's been a lot of years of movies that I've just never seen, and I really enjoyed that. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll watch more movies going forth. But yeah, I love the movie. I'm not gonna like rate it out of 10 or whatever because
Yeah, you don't have
I
to.
don't feel qualified to do that.
Can you rate it against other Robin Williams movies?
Oh man,
geez.
that's
a tough one.
That's
a,
tough also.
a jerk
Yeah.
move.
Yeah. Where do you put RV?
RV.
Isn't he in a movie called RV?
I haven't
Is
seen
he?
that.
I feel like he's
He
in
is.
it.
I haven't
I
seen
went
it.
for what's the most obscure thing, and that's what my my memory bells presented to me.
You're
was a
saying this
film
is someone who
Who's in,
doesn't watch
um,
movies.
Adaptation, right? Was that the movie he was in? There's one where he was like a not a filmer,
A photographer.
a developer. He like developed films.
I watched that.
Yeah,
I didn't
one
see
hour,
it.
1 hour photo.
Oh, maybe
Yeah,
that's
I
it.
saw that in
Okay.
theaters actually.
Yeah,
Was it good?
Yeah, I
It's
remember
all right.
enjoying it.
It's like a thriller.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
A lot of voyeurism and stalking, I think.
Yeah.
In that one.
A little weird.
creepy.
But
Yeah.
that was the point. I'd rate it really well against other Robin Williams movies. Like it wasn't the normal, like, or what I consider the normal, like, outrageous Robin Williams. It was, like you said, a more reactive Robin Williams, but yeah, I think it holds up very well.
I would agree. I think that it's really cool to see him in this mode of not just, well, I mean, we can say it, cocaine fueled mayhem. It's a lot more reserved of a performance, and it's still big, but it's just on the scale of what Robin Williams does, closer to Good Will Hunting than to problematic accents in Aladdin, I would say.
Honestly, I think Nathan Lane crushed it.
He did
Like,
crush it.
I would give him like the gold medal of the movie.
Yeah. Out of all the characters, I'd say he probably did. Yeah, that's my favorite performance.
He was so good. This was a weird year at the Oscars. It got nominated for, I think, only what is now production design, or it was production design then, and now it's something else. It's whatever Mank just won this year. But that's the only thing it got nominated for, which it makes sense. The apartment looks awesome. They did a great job with all the props of art.
That's
and
what
stuff.
they pulled out from that entire movie.
So no performances, no directing, no adapted screenplay.
It was the gnome with the big dick.
Yeah.
Or,
right.
Can I not say that either?
No, I think you can say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dick Cheney. Just so the viewers know, and whoever demonetizes or blocks podcasts.
Exactly. Yeah. No one. This is just for us at this exact moment, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, it was a great looking apartment. But I definitely think the performances deserved some love there.
Oh, yeah,
but,
for sure.
Speaking of movies that I think a lot of people our age haven't seen, the big winner that night was The English Patient. Have you guys seen it?
No.
It won 9 awards.
Wow.
Which I think only 4 movies have won more than that. Being Titanic and Return of the King and something else. But Titanic comes out the next year and obviously blows everything away. But yeah, this won 9 awards. Fargo won 2 awards that year, and nothing else won more than 1 award. So they really moved it around, except for the 9 awards they gave to The English Patient.
Damn.
It won 9 awards, but still only got a 7.4 out of 10 on IMDb.
It's hard to tell who does the ratings sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be a certain kind of person to jump on there and do it. But yeah, so it probably could have gotten a little more love. I think that would be fair to say. Yeah. So would you guys recommend it? I mean, I
Highly recommend it.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. So yeah, I think you were alluding to this before, but we're going to play a little game now.
Woo!
So this movie's called The Birdcage, but the game's called Bird/Cage in the same style as the title of Face Off is Face/Off. And that's because it has multiple meanings. The multiple meanings here is, one, the name of the movie we did was Birdcage, but also Bird/Cage. I'm going to give you a small plot summary of a movie, and you have to tell me whether that movie has bird in the title or if it's a Nicolas Cage film.
Ooh, okay.
Got it.
And if you want, you got bonus points if you can guess the movie. First off, we'll start a little easier. In this sequel, the main character must follow a clue left in John Wilkes Booth's diary to prove his ancestors' innocence in the assassination of Abraham Lincoln.
Do we just answer?
Bird.
You think Bird.
It's National Treasure 2, right?
It is National Treasure 2,
Nice.
The Book of Secrets.
Oh, I didn't know the full title. Do I still get credit?
You still get credit. It's okay. So
I just kind of hope there was
Nicolas
like
Cage.
Bird in somewhere in there, like National Treasure 2, release the bird.
Release the
yeah.
bird. The bird cut. Right. What else do we got?
So I've heard.
Number 2, a washed-up superhero actor attempts to revive his fading career by writing, directing, and starring in a Broadway production.
That's got Bird. Nicolas Cage ain't doing that.
Birdman? Is that Birdman?
It is Birdman.
Yeah.
All right. So let's say you tie on that one. But Noah still ahead.
Oh, wait. We're going like head to head?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. You're going head to head. Newly paroled ex-con and former U.S. Ranger finds himself trapped in a prisoner transport plane
Nicolas Cage.
when the prisoner seize control.
Do you know the name of the movie?
So he says Cage.
It's definitely Cage.
You say Cage.
Yeah.
Anyone got the movie?
No idea.
I do know this movie. Oh,
I was hoping saying it was in a plane might throw you off.
Snakes on a plane.
No. I want to say
kidding.
Free something.
Close. Con Air.
Con Air.
That wasn't close at all.
I was,
Con Air, free.
nice.
I was going to say Free Falling, but that's definitely
Yeah.
not it.
That's just a Tom Petty song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think we heard today, didn't we? Or
Free
you were
Falling?
singing it for some reason.
That's one of those I
Yeah.
break out every once in a while.
Nice.
Start singing it.
That's really cute.
Yeah.
You guys just singing Tom Petty songs in the apartment.
Not us, just him.
Yeah.
Oh,
just
okay,
me.
sure.
I make-
You just listen.
Yeah.
Okay. 5 years after an ominous unseen presence drives most of society to suicide, a mother and her 2 children make a desperate bid to reach safety.
Box.
Bird Box.
Yeah, Bird Box.
What is Bird Box?
He's not even letting you guess. It's messed
Yeah.
up.
I know.
All right, here's the last couple. I think let's say Noah's up by 1.
I did know that movie, actually.
Yeah, I gave you credit for it.
Oh, wow.
Should we wait until you finish the description?
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay, my bad.
No, you're
I did
fine,
that
dude.
one before, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
It's we're not playing for money here, so it's fine. Superhero team-up movie where an unlikely group must band together to fight a local crime boss.
Local crime.
I'm gonna say
I'm gonna
Nicolas
say
Cage.
Nicolas Cage. Yeah.
You're going with Cage?
Yeah.
That is Birds of Prey.
Oh.
And here's the last one. Superhero team-up movie where an unlikely group must band together to fight a local crime boss.
You just said that.
No, this is a different question.
Wait, that's another.
Birds of Prey. What is Birds of Prey?
Birds of Prey. Final answer.
No, it's Into the Spider-Verse with Nicolas Cage.
Oh god damn it! Well done. That was good.
Damn it.
Thank you.
That was good.
So,
I knew you were gonna like pull something. During that.
so I think Noah wins. Good job.
Yeah.
Woo!
That's fair.
So Noah wins the podcast. We are defeated. Any final thoughts? Any plugs?
I already plugged my MySpace.
That's right,
Plugged
yeah.
everything.
Well, when I get my podcast up and running,
Cool.
oh yeah.
I'll edit in a plug right here.
yeah, that's fine. I don't know if it's gonna happen. It's kind of too ridiculous of an idea.
That was
Finn.
the idea of our podcast.
I mean, what's the idea for your podcast?
I don't want to disclose.
Oh, okay. All right. I get you. I got you.
It won't be good for your podcast.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, thank you, Cory. Thank you, Noah, for
Thank you, man. It was a lot of
being
fun.
the pioneers here as guests on Late to the Movies. I was Ben, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.